My mother and father are from Oklahoma, Tulsa, Oklahoma. They didn't meet until they were both in college at Langston University. They fell in love. Let my mom tell it. She did not want to talk to my dad because she thought he was a player. But somehow, as my dad would say, he smitten her, right? They ended up getting married. They had my brother, Alvin Taylor Jr. Then right after, they had my sister, Alicia Taylor. Then my father told my mother he had a great idea. He wanted to move to Las Vegas and eventually open up a nightclub. And he told my mom, give me 6 months and I'm gonna send for you. My mom was like, what? You're gonna leave me and the kids? We just got married and got these two, babies. My father expressed to my mom, give me 6 months. That'll give me enough time to be a valet driver, to make some good money. I can get an apartment. I'm gonna buy a car. And then 6 months from then, I will send for you and our 2 kids. My mom trusted my father. That's a lot of trust. I reminisce of my mom telling me the story of how when she told her mother that, my grandmother, little mama, my grandmother told my mom that she was stupid for letting him leave. And she was like, that's not gonna happen. No man is gonna have 2 new babies, leave, and in 6 months send for you. She's like, you are a single mom now, just know that. But lo and behold, 6 months later, my father sent for my mom. And he had that car, and he had that job, and he had that apartment. They had an apartment on Ambler. I don't know where Ambler is, but I think it's on the east side. Then they moved to the Regal Estates. That's when I was born. I always had a pride in that story. One, I had a pride in that story for family, because it shows me that, family can't stay together. And my mother and father stayed married until my dad passed away some years ago. So they really, honored that death do us part, but they did it. During my campaign trail, I would tell that story. And what happened was, I was at an event and I was telling the story. And while I was telling the story, it hit me. And I pivoted from my normal way of saying the story to, that's why I'm running for councilman. Because this day right now, in 2024, it is almost impossible a man could leave and go to another state, particularly could leave his family and move to Las Vegas, and in 6 months acquire a car, a good paying job, and an apartment, and enough money to send for his wife and 2 children. And it's the same scenario, it's the same story, but due to inflation, the cost of living, it's almost impossible for that to happen. And if that story did not take place and partake, I wouldn't be here right now running in North Las Vegas, expressing this story. And as a community, as a people, as a local government, state government, and federal government, I don't know how we allow to price ourselves out of living, the quality of life. I don't know how we did that. In the projections, if you study the economy, I don't see a rainbow at the end of this journey. We will have to be intentional with the direction we are sending for our children. It is very, very hard for someone the age of 21 to even get an apartment by themselves right now. It's almost impossible to even buy a house right now. All I do is preach home ownership. I'm at my home right now that I own, okay? I preach home ownership, but now it's to the point to where I have to almost suppress that conversation, because if I do this positive conversation about home ownership and then a person tries to do it and you're only making 18 bucks an hour and the average home in North Las Vegas is $415,000 and you need to have 25 to 28% of your income go to your mortgage, meaning that you need to make about $100,000, how can you buy a house? It's not fair for us as people to get to the point to where we're pricing ourselves out. And what happens with that is it'll end up being more people who are going from renters to needing government assistance. And unfortunately, a slew of people will end up being homeless due to that situation. Hold on. All right, nephew, you going to practice? Oh, what? All right, cool. I'll ask him to see me the schedule. We have to put our heads together as council members, the assembly, the Senate, all elected official roles. We need to start coming together and thinking of a plan what we could do. We're at the time to where, what will our children's story be? And our grandchildren, and our great-grandchildren, all right? And that's why I'm running. I'm running for change, but I can't do it myself. We have to be together with this change, all right?